Welcome back. This is part 3 of my T-33 LED light installation. If you have not viewed parts 1 and 2, I recommend starting at part 1 for the nav and strobe light installation. Part 3 covers my installation of the dual nose gear landing lights. This was the first attempt for the nose gear light, and it has been found to be too small. So I had to look at it again, took some more pictures off of the internet of the T-33 on a walk around, and found out that the light should be, see if I can get this into the light here. The light, the edge of the nose wheel should line up about the center of the light for each light. And after I got this one built up and got it on the nose gear, it was about 1/8 of an inch off on both sides. So I was about 1/4 inch off. So that brings in this one. As you can see, the size difference. Using a photo again off the internet, it was straight onto the light, so I used it. I just blew up my picture in the camera and measured it, and this is what I came up with for the size of it. So quite a bit different. And the back plate that I cut is 020 styrene plastic. It's just the evergreen scale models plastic. You can get it at your local hobby store. And this is, I believe it was 020 is the one I actually used. I've got several sizes here, and this is what I use for gear doors and things like that as well, to laminate some balsa between it and stuff like that. But anyways, that's what I've used there. And coming back to this, again, I used this styrene plastic for the back. I used 1/8 inch plywood, 1/8 inch balsa again, to bring it out to the depth I like, to give it a good size, but not too much weight. Then I used clear butyrate plastic, I believe it is, and it's 010 for lenses. And then with a little bit of work, comes out looking like that. I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. The lights fit behind it. Not perfect, could have a little bit cleaner on the inside, but from a few feet away it doesn't look too bad. And as soon as you turn the lights on, you're blind to it anyways, you can't see them. This is the spacing for the two lights, and they fit in there relatively easily. And like I was telling Bobby tonight after the chat, it is too cold and it's too late, and I'm going to do a little soldering. I don't want to melt anything. So this will be a finished project tomorrow. But you can see where I mounted the F14 nose gear light clamp. Fits perfectly on the nose gear of the T-33, so that's what I'll be using. There's 2 holes on the side. Those are for mounting screws. And I will file flats on my strut and then just snug those up a little bit, and then probably glue it on with some foam tack, and then also some RTV to keep it from moving and that kind of stuff. So I think it'll work well. I'll go ahead and reinforce it a little bit so it's not just that one screw holding it. I'll go ahead and put a little bit of wood behind there and glue it to the plastic as well for just a little bit more support. But I think it's pretty close to being done. It's just going to be a matter of getting the lights soldered up and get them in place and then attach it. But I'll go ahead and move it up to the airplane so you can get an idea of what it looks like, if I can do this without getting out of the camera. So that's what it'll look like when she's done. So a little bit more work tomorrow, and we'll give you an update at that time. All right, I think I've got it the way I like it now. Need to do a little test here and check to make sure that the gear is going to clear the light assembly. So let's raise the retracts and make sure everything clears. And we'll look through the light, or with a light through the edge of the gear door, and we'll check it out. Make sure everything's good to go, but I think it's going to clear. Here we go. Yep. Let's see up inside. Not very well, but I can see that it is sitting in front of where the gear door actuators contact the gear. Doesn't seem to have anything around it, close to it, so I think I'm good to go. So we'll bring it back down. I think that's pretty well good to go. I'm going to now solder up the lights, got the spacing, and just need to put them in parallel so they'll run off of a single plug back at the blue box, glue them in place, and finish the installation. So hopefully be finished up here by later this evening. Set up to do a little soldering, and reverse the one light. I've got room underneath the mounting piece there that I built up to run the wire underneath, so put the black to black to put it in parallel, and I'll run the red across the bottom to the other side and solder that one in, and that should take care of the light wire work, and should be able to get them installed here in just a few moments. Alright, now I've got the lights wired in parallel and temporarily installed, still have to be glued. But figured we'd go ahead and give it a shot here and see how things work. So come around this side, clip it on, and let's get her plugged in. And hey, that was pretty good. And they're nice and bright. Yeah. I think I'm going to be happy with that, so let's get the wiring installed and be done. After temporarily installing the lights, I marked where the screw holes are in the clip. I will now take a file and file those flat. The screws don't actually screw into the plastic. The holes are already bigger than the screw itself. So I will just file the flats here, and I will use foam tack or some glue just to glue the screws in place to put it in contact with the strut and keep it hopefully from rotating. But I'm going to be gluing the clip on as well, so it shouldn't move too much once it's in place. Well, the retract bracket is finally attached and glued, so it is now complete. I had some clearance issues with the inside of the wheel well. I had tie wraps originally holding the wires in place, and those would interfere with the retract unit itself. They were too, as small as they were hitting the bottom of the retract unit, and/or not enough clearance between the edge there. So those came off, and I used thick black sewing thread, tied it off in two places, and painted it just to give it a little more silver look. But it is now in and complete. The wires are held back in two places. One there, that's just to keep the wires out of the way, and then foam tacked it to the sidewall to keep it up and away as the gear comes down and retracts. Keeps the wire up high enough that it doesn't interfere with the retract unit itself again. So it is now done, and the installation is complete here. Just got to put the battery tray back in on the other side, and should be ready to go. Got the last of the wires ran up underneath the battery tray. Tie wrapped it into the other cables. Installation is now done and complete. Let's see what it looks like all closed up. All right, here she is, all closed up, finished up. And strobes, navs, working. Strobes, navs, and now we got gear. And one last time. Coming down. All right, well, that just about does it for the nose gear light and the nav light installs on the Freewing T-33 modifications. Well, here she is. All the lights are now installed and working. Paint touch-ups are all done. Just waiting for the weather to give me a window to get it out and get the maiden taken care of. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Nav light and nose gear lights on the Freewing T-33. Please like and subscribe. Hope to get the videos up of the maiden as well as more to come. Thanks again.